Today we have Mosquitoland by David Arnold.
I came up with a few questions or discussion topics specifically about this book, and Mim kind of struggles with some mental issues, and it's not very clear on what exactly is wrong with her. And so our question was, what's actually wrong with Mim, and kind of what we gathered from it to kind of like understand where she's coming from. So
Right. Well, I mean, we know that she's like sort of off the meds, I guess, per se. So yeah, we sort of get that whole thing with an unreliable narrator. I mean,
yeah, no,
obviously she's like very smart and very bright, but
yeah. It isn't very clear, but she was on like some kind of medication, and she like had gone to like doctors before, but it wasn't never really clear. She like I guess it could be perceived as like, but she wasn't like schizophrenic or anything, but like there was like
it's sort of along those psychological disorder. Like,
Yeah.
I think that her dad was the one looking out for her.
yeah.
And her mom was really the one who was, even though Mim, she has, I mean, she's the one who,
Yeah.
is taking this whole trip trying to get to her.
Mm-hmm.
But, we don't get the whole story because we only see Mim's side of it.
Yeah, because it's a biased narrator. But like, no, yeah, I totally noticed that because like, her father he was like doing his best.
He wanted to get her to the best doctors.
Yeah.
He wanted to
that he thought were best for her.
He was doing what he thought was best for her.
Yeah.
Mim, she sort of, I don't know, she sort of idolizes her mom a lot, and she does sort of not like her dad as much.
Yeah.
But then, and as you're reading the story, from Mim's perspective, you sort of like, you're only seeing it from her side, and you sort of, Mim's dad seems to be sort of an enemy, and like her stepmom sort of seems like an enemy, but really they're the ones trying to really help her, and because you come to see, I mean, Mim comes up and it's a drug rehabilitation center at the end, so, and then that sort of just like brings it full circle, and it's sort of, it's just a really unique perspective. With that whole unreliable narrator thing.
The next topic was basically about the teenage intelligence and how that's portrayed in specifically this book. So, because basically that's always a kind of like.
Right, a lot of people have strong feelings about that. I mean, we were on Goodreads looking at comments, and people have strong feelings about that in terms of like, Mim is such a smart character
that it's almost unrealistic.
It's almost unrealistic, and you can't. And she is. I mean, what kind of teenager is talking in that like elegant prose?
But like, I can see it from both sides because like on the one hand, obviously she's like a smart, like wise person, even though she's young, and that's just because like she's done a lot of growing up for someone her age, you know what I mean? Because she's like had like a rough childhood, and then she like is like an only child, so she has to figure out things on her own. So I think that does contribute to the fact that she is kind of like more grown up. But also, I just feel like even though sometimes it can be, there's definitely parts where you're like, you can't even almost identify with the character or relate with the character because they're not talking like an actual like young person, but at the same time that's what makes it interesting too.
Right.
But like, sorry.
No,
but like, and then also like, because people have talked about how like young people can be like smarter and like wiser than they may like portray in normal life.
Yeah, I think that's what's good about books.
Credit.
We looked it up. There's a lot of people talk about like the John Green style
Yeah,
with
and
like
he
the
breaks.
extremely wise teenagers.
Yeah.
Which they're characters. You know, it's not a true story. It's not.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. You know, it's a story,
Mhm.
and I mean, the fact that they're smart only enhances the storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is really the bottom line, at least for me. Mm-hmm. All right, Melanie, would you like to give us a full rating out of 5? What do you give it?
I'll say 3.
Say 3.
Yeah, 2.5, 3. 2 3/4.
All right.
No,
all right,
3.
all right.
I made up my mind. 3.
Okay.
Give me a rating.
All right. No, I'm gonna say 4.
Oh, ambitious.
Ambitious. Go ahead.
Hope you liked our first episode of reviewing Mosquitoland by David Arnold. Read it if you want. This is Books That Talk.
See you next time.
See you next time.